Hello everyone, welcome to Total Amiga Recall, where each video we will be looking at our best 5 Amiga games on different genres. Now these games aren't in any particular order, and these are just our opinions, so not everyone will agree. In these videos we will share memories and thoughts about the games we played through our childhood and early teens. Join me on the other mic is Kelvin. Hello Kelvin.
Hello.
If you enjoy our videos, please like and subscribe. So let's get started, and today's genre is... Shoot 'em ups.
My first pick is R-Type, 1989 by Factor 5, and that comes on one disc. So this is my all-time favourite game. It's my best arcade game, my best console game. It wasn't actually an Amiga original, but still one hell of a conversion. It was almost identical, if not slightly harder than the original arcade. Did you ever play this in the arcade, Jess?
I didn't get very far. I'm not great at shoot 'em ups. I do enjoy playing them, but I'm not good at it. I think probably the furthest I've got was level 2, but really good. It's probably my best and favourite shooter of all time.
You used to go in the old arcades, there'd be a games cabinet, everyone crowded round, you'd fight your way to the front, look at the screen. Quite often it was this game, and that's where I watched people on it, learnt it, and I can now get to level 4 on One Life is my claim to fame now. I am that nerd that sits on it on 110p. I'm pretty good at it now.
Level 4. I don't think I've ever seen level 4 unless I look at screenshots. That's gone.
And then level 4, I just get annihilated. They just come from the side, come from the back, they just hit you. That's I never
really
got to grips with that one.
There is code for infinite lives.
Submitter, that with the dot, that was on the high school table.
So you had to put the full stop in, didn't you?
Yeah, very important. But I wish I knew that when I used to play it.
I think what I can remember, we had the trainers at the front on some of the games, and, which we weren't allowed, but we did. And even then, with infinite lives on, I think when you died, it wasn't infinite ability. You crashed. You had to start at the beginning of that stage, or
you lose all your weapons.
So it was infinite lives, but it wasn't really much cop if you weren't that good at the game, to be honest.
That's it. You're back to basic weapons. That's so hard if you weren't powered up. And looking at the magazine reviews, not amazing, sort of high 80s. CU Amiga had it at 91. But it was a lot of shoot 'em ups on the Amiga, so it's a big battling ground. Hard to get a high mark.
Looking at the reviews, they were sort of mid to high 80s on an average, so I think it's a fair review on that. I think. Well, one thing I did find out was that the orb was actually called Force. The Force. You could fire it off and it would shoot little bullets out for you, and you could use it as a shield or a battering ram. If it was on the front or the back of your ship, you could bang into enemies and stuff. So that was quite handy if you could manage to get one of them.
I think a lot of games started using an extra attachment like that.
I think they did, but I think R-Type was one of the first. With level 3, we had to keep switching it from front to back. It sounded like there was a little bit of thought that you had to go into it as well to do all that. Yeah,
some levels you had to put it on the back of your ship, especially level 3 on the big ship. You had to protect yourself. It's quite easy once you've learnt the pattern where you got to go at certain times. This was side scroller that broke the mold, really. Kind of a template for a lot of clones that came after it. So many games copied the level design. Having end of level bosses was quite a new thing in 1989. After R-Type came out, a lot of games did have end of level bosses, but before that it wasn't really a thing.
The arcade version did have some sort of scrolling backgrounds, but the Amiga didn't. Obviously that was down to probably CPUs and other thing of the Amiga, but I think it was probably one of the best ports out there.
Every time I got a new computer or console, I'd get R-Type to see how good the console was. I could judge how good a console was by how good R-Type was on a lot of them.
Yeah, I think the Spectrum done a good port.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah, that was quite good.
Colours, but I think it actually was a really good port.
Considering its limitations, the Spectrum, it did a really good job.
Yeah, no, it did. And the ship that you flew was an R9 ship. The sequel, R-Type 2, was not as good, but it was still up there.
A good addition. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. The arcades that we came in, I didn't see it too much.
Yeah, I only ever played it At home, I never played R-Type 2 in an arcade. I never saw that.
Not a really good game. One of my favourite shoot-em-ups.
Yep, it was my favourite, and it probably will remain my favourite.
It's going to take some beating.
It's going to take some beating, yeah. So that is the first game. Good start to the top 5. Done.
Yeah, done. My pick is Agony by Art and Magic. Comes on 3 discs from 1992 and published by Psygnosis. Now, for me, this is probably one of the most beautiful games out there, graphic-wise. They are absolutely stunning, even for an Amiga. The pictures during the stages, you wouldn't think a 16-bit computer would be able to produce graphics like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think of it, but I think it was absolutely beautiful, really.
It was. It really showed off what the Amiga could do, didn't it? You just load it up and you just think, wow. Just the graphics, the animation on that owl was amazing. It's just so smooth.
Yeah, the owl that you play is actually the Psygnosis logo owl.
Yeah, that probably helped to get it signed by Psygnosis, I imagine.
And I also found that because of how good the graphics and everything is, that the game actually didn't have any intro because of memory constraints. But in the manual, it actually told you the story of why he got turned into an owl, and that's why it just goes straight into the game as an owl.
Yeah, they do have load-up screens that they're just like little pieces of art, really, aren't they?
Yeah, there was 6 levels, long levels, like most games. I never completed it. Can't remember what level I got on, probably for 2 or 3, probably. But yeah, I don't know how far you got on that.
Yeah, I didn't complete it. There were cheats again for it. You type in fantasy on the title screen. It was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And it was an Amiga exclusive as well.
Yes.
Which is nice. Even in them days, they had exclusives. You know, even now, obviously the PlayStation and the Xbox, they all have exclusives. But right back in '92, because they were competing with the ST at the time, I think Amiga sort of took over, and a lot of companies were just making exclusives for the Amiga. I also found out that Alistair Brimble composed a piece of the Loon music, but it wasn't used. Now, he's famous for doing music for Super Frog, Project X, Alien Breed, and a lot more Amiga games. They never used it, so I'd been interested to see what that was
like. Wouldn't have minded hearing that, actually. Got a good track record. Yeah. Looking at the box art on this, it's not obvious what the game is. It almost looks like a Conan the Barbarian RPG game.
It wouldn't be out of place. It would be exactly what you'd see in a fantasy film.
Yeah, I mean, one of the negatives of this game, the graphics were pretty large. So when the baddie enters the screen, it's quite hard to avoid it, because there wasn't a massive play area to move around in. They didn't come at you particularly fast or at weird angles like other games, so it's pretty manageable, but it's quite a big animal to move around the screen, really.
Yeah, the sprites and everything were really big.
The music. So that first level, the music is so violent and it's in your face. It doesn't seem to go with the visuals at that point. It does get slightly better as you go on the levels, but then I think we get to level 6, it comes back to this music again, and it does sit proper with it because the world is on fire. But the first level, I just thought it was out of place, that music. It just makes you jump as soon as it starts.
Yes, really loud and in your face.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how the other levels go, but yeah, the first one, it was really loud. I get what you mean by that, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is, if you're going to complete it, to do it in one life, you get the power-ups, and if you die, you lose your full weapon upgrades, and that's fairly impossible in the later levels unless you've got your weapons all powered up. That's so hard later on.
Yeah, because I think the bullets get wider, don't they?
Yeah, they're massive at one point.
And don't you get like a sword or something?
Yeah, you get a sword above your head and below. You need that above your head because things do drop above you sometimes, and as long as you've got that sword, you're fine. As soon as you die and that's gone, you've had it. It wasn't the hardest game ever, but it's all about the visuals with this one.
Visuals and the music. Yeah, I don't think the gameplay was nothing that we hadn't seen before, but the graphics we hadn't. The reviews are quite kind. So a lot of them, on average, were sort of mid-80s.
The magazines we both used to get, so Amiga Action, that was my one, was 86. The 1, which is what you used to get, was 84, which is, like you said, yeah, it's mid-80s. That's fair. Wasn't anything new on gameplay particularly, was it? But it was just the graphics was so good. That's why they're high, I think, and that's why it's on our list. There was a nice sort of take in the mick, really. On one of the levels, you fly past a gravestone, and on it that reads, "Here lies the Bitmap brothers."
Really?
Yeah. Having a little jab at them. It's quite a good little nod.
Oh, I wonder why they put that for. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. That's quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, another good game. I'm sure most people would agree. That's it. Yeah, Agony.
My next pick is Project X. That came on 4 discs, 1992. It's obviously Team 17, so you know what to expect. Awesome graphics. That's what they were renowned for.
They were.
5 levels of horizontally scrolling shooting madness. Ridiculously hard. But I think they did correct that later on in a special edition. In 1993, they put the difficulty level down so people could see the rest of the game.
Yeah, they did. I think they had a lot of complaints about how difficult it was, so they decided to make a special edition which lowered the difficulty a bit.
Yeah. So the music, again, wow. I was well into dance music at this point, so I was blown away when I first loaded this up and heard that beat kick in. That was brilliant. I loved it. There's also quite a lot of speech that featured heavily in this game, which is fairly unusual for a shoot 'em up. It says stuff like power up, speed up, and all of that, which was brilliant.
Yeah, you could choose your weapons at the bottom. You built the power-ups up, didn't you? And you could
That's
choose
it.
what weapons you want. I always went for a couple of speed-ups, and then I worked on weaponry.
Yeah, the weapons were plasma, magma, and laser. I wasn't keen on the laser. I think I used to go for plasma most of the time.
I always try to get a couple of missiles as well.
Definitely.
Because they go off and...
They're vital, yeah. You could pick from 3 ships. They were light to medium to heavy. The lighter one would be a lot faster, but you couldn't power up as much. And obviously the heavy one was a lot slower, but you could really boost your weapons up, a lot more firepower. I think I just used to go for the medium, the all-rounder.
I can't remember which ship I went for.
I found the lighter one too quick, especially if you smash a couple of power-ups into it. It's too fast.
Yeah.
There was some bonus levels on here, which I used to love. You just had to get through the corridors. You collect 6 items to get an extra life, and it got faster and faster, like down a tunnel. Go down, speeding up, straight on. Love it. You collect the things and you get extra lives, which is a little break from the madness. That was good.
The game actually came with a free poster as well, if you got the original big box. Nice poster of it. It's just little things like that Team 17 used to throw in every now and again just to make it worthwhile. The game was really successful in Europe, but in the US it only sold moderate numbers. Didn't really sell too well at all. I don't know if the Amiga market was overly strong in America, to be honest. Different 5 levels, wasn't there, of it?
Yep.
And the first one in space, the second one was like on an ice planet, and then it was an unusual underwater scene. Then you ended up with the fire and the mechanical side of things, but very R-type-y as well, wasn't it?
Yes, I was thinking to say that level 5 was very influenced by R-Type. That almost looks like an R-Type level. So you got the R-Type influence there again, and also had ender level bosses as well.
And midway bosses as well.
Yes.
I think. I don't know if it was a new thing. I can't remember any other game of that same type had a midway boss. I'm sure they did, but the first time I remember it was in Project X.
I don't remember many before that. Magazine reviews, Amiga Action 91, The One 90. Most of the other magazines all had 90%. One of them even gave it 100. That was Games X magazine. So that is, this is
excellent.
very highly rated to shoot 'em up.
Yeah, and it was obviously successful because they brought a sequel out on the PlayStation. It's just called X2, pretty much more of the same, I think. And they've just released Project X Lightyears on Steam. Really good. I've been playing a little bit of that and haven't got very far on it, but it's very good.
Yeah, I did play it the other day. I got to level 2, but then got destroyed.
Yeah, I think we're going to need a little bit more practice on that one.
Yeah.
It's good that people still think there's a market for this, and really good.
Nice. Well-deserved pick.
Yeah, definitely. My next pick is Apidya by Keiko from 1991, and it came on 2 discs. Now, this one really impressed me when it first came out, being the Wasp and the first level flying through a garden and you're fighting little insects, and You had little things at the bottom as well where you could choose your weapons again. The music, the graphics just really sort of blew me away really when it first came out. Difficulty wise, it was hard. I think I only got on the second level, but for some reason I just kept coming back to this game.
Yeah, it was hard. It's probably the hardest one that's on our list actually.
Yeah.
The style, the graphics, kind of sort of anime, manga type style. When it loads up, it says Apidya, and then it's got some, which I guess is Chinese writing, is it? And it says 2. There's a little 2 there. That was just a little gimmick, and that's just to make it think this was the second part of something. Well, it wasn't. It was an Amiga original.
Yeah, I remember the title screen coming up, and I think it fooled me because I thought,
oh,
number 2. At the time, we didn't have the internet, so you couldn't search if there was number 1. So you just, I don't really know. You just assumed it was a second game.
It's just a little gimmicky ploy to create a buzz around the game, and he's clever.
It was, yeah, that was clever, yeah. And Team 17 re-released it on budget label later on. I assume they just secured the rights to republish it. But a nice little addition to the Team 17 family.
That sit right alongside their other games with such good graphics.
Yeah, again, I didn't realise there are secret levels.
Yeah.
The first one, once you shot the head of the caterpillar off, you could go in, you played some sort of secret level. I never done that, never knew that. The other one is when you went down the molehill on the first level as well.
Yeah.
And there was, again, secret levels and a big pike at the end of level 2. The bosses were insects as well.
There was multiple bosses on each level. Got some of those bosses. Level 1, there was a mole boss, caterpillar, praying mantis. And then level 2, an eel boss. You got a lobster and a fish. Level 3, maggots and a rat corpse. Centipede, a toy soldier, a Pepsi can face. I don't know what that spells. And a giant doll. And there's maggots that are in a dead rat. One with like a discarded doll in the sewers.
It sort of went weird after that, really, because the first 3 levels, it's got like all animal or insect based.
Yeah, and then number 4, it's R-Type again, isn't it? They just run out of ideas and go, oh, let's copy R-Type. Again, look at that. It's R-Type. But with a wasp.
And even the last level, you're in space, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like they ran out of ideas, isn't it? That last boss is a massive wasp.
But it puts you in mind, I know it's a wasp, the first boss in R-Type.
R-Type, exactly. It is. It's almost the same shape, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
There is a name for the first boss in R-Type, I can't remember what it was. But
I'll flash it up on the screen.
You could have 2-player on it as well, couldn't you?
Yes,
where you
it was a 2-player option.
Yeah, the other one played like a little bee or something, which helped a little bit. It's still hard though.
It's quite imaginative. There's a lot going on. Yeah, like you said, in the late levels, they kind of ran out of ideas. Just did sort of futuristic, then in space, which was odd.
The Amiga Joker magazine gave it best action game of '92. Should be shoot 'em up, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah, action, is it?
Not really. No.
The reviews, high 80s, low 90s, so they're all roughly that. This was very, very high quality.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the first review with the One magazine actually gave it quite low at 79%. I'm surprised at that, and
That's
even your Amiga Action only gave it 80% and then 82%. It's a good job we're not rating these. We'd give it 90s all the time, wouldn't we? Wouldn't be very good. So I was a little bit surprised that the reviews are a little bit low. There are some in the 90s, but
it might have been because it was so hard. The difficulty level was set very, very high right from the beginning. That might be why.
I also found out that the name Apidya is derived Apidae, I think it is, which means a biological family of bees. That's what it stands
is that what that means?
Might have said that word wrong, but you get the gist of it. Maybe that's why you're a bee.
Yeah,
I always thought you
got
were
a bee in it.
But I think actually you're a bee.
Oh, is it a bee, not a wasp? Oh, I thought it was a wasp.
I'm not too sure. The flying thing. Good game. Definitely one of the better shooters in our opinion, anyway.
Yeah. Well-deserved place. Yeah, good game. Bosh. Our last pick is Xenon 2 Megablast. It's by the Bitmap Brothers, 1989, and that was on 2 discs. It's a top-down shooter, which is the only one on our list. All the others are side-scrollers. As soon as it loads up, you're treated to bomb the base Megablast. That was a tune. Considering the Amiga limitations, it's actually pretty close to the original, which was very impressive. I first played this round of friends before I had an Amiga. This was one of the games that made me need an Amiga. It was so good. I was impressed with the music. I love that tune. And the graphics, the sound. Also at the end of the levels, you've got the shop.
That's it, yeah. I forgot about that, yeah. I knew the shop, but I didn't know where he went.
Yeah. They're brilliant.
But I don't know if before this that you actually went into the shop and purchased stuff.
No, it's quite unusual. Yeah, and this was really early, wasn't it? That's quite an unusual thing to have in your game.
1989, wasn't that? So,
it was so intense. It's nice to just get to the shop and just breathe and just rest a bit until you're back in.
Yeah.
The game itself is actually a very good game. So many bullets to dodge, and the music constantly played. It scrolls smoothly.
I think it suffered with a lot of slowdown when there's a lot on the screen, I think.
It did slow down. The bad thing is, there was often 2 ways to go, and you would go all the way up and you come to a dead end.
So at least you could reverse, but
yeah,
with constant enemies coming at you. And
you'd have to reverse all the way back down for like 30 seconds and then go the other path. That was frustrating. I did not like that.
Yeah, it was a good game. It wasn't a game that made me want to buy an Amiga. That was Prince of Persia for me. It was one of the earlier shoot 'em ups, which again, I think the music itself at the beginning. So I'd never heard speech on a computer before, and when I heard that and the actual singing with the music, I thought, wow, this is something. The graphics, typical Bitmap Brothers graphics from the later games as well. They used the same style, didn't they? And
they kind of specialised in quite small graphics but really detailed pixels. They did that really well on all of their games, and this was no exception.
And the game is all set in like the organic type of feel of it, with the underwater sea urchins, bosses the creature in a shell. Then the second level again, it's all organic feel, third the same, and then it goes to R-Type again. With all the futuristic, it's sort of again right out of place really with the other levels of the game. Every game seems to come back to that, doesn't it?
I know. Like, what should we do? Let's do an R-type level. The power-ups on this, you could really boost your ship up. There's so many add-ons. You end up with a lot of firepower.
I'm looking at some of the screenshots now, and you can build a good ship, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There's some serious firepower here. Didn't realise, you may know, being a music man, that the actual from the base
the tune came from Assault Precinct 13.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. So actually, John Carpenter, wrote it.
From the base stole that.
Never knew that.
Yeah, I did know that one.
Yeah, I thought you would.
I had it on vinyl, and that said it on the credits on the back of it, so I knew that.
And you've even done a remaster of it, haven't you?
We have. I shall put the link in the description for my remix of this. Yes, very good. Yeah, check it out. Shameless plug.
No, it is a shameless plug, but it deserves the plug because it's really good, and it does need to be listened to. It's really, really good. The ending of this is famous for the most disappointing ending of a game ever, I think. For those who don't know, after you beat the boss, you greet with the shot and a sarcastic comment, and then a white dot in the screen. It's like the old tellies when you turn off, and that's it. Congratulations, nothing.
What a rubbish ending.
All for nothing, for a white dot. Brilliant.
So the reviews for this at the time, these are very high. There was a couple of 100s, there was 90s. It's quite mixed really. There's 80s as well.
But yeah, me computer gave it 100%.
So I mean, this was Xenon 2. Xenon 1, do you ever play that?
Briefly, it's isometric, didn't really get on with it too
No,
well.
I didn't like it.
When I heard about Xenon 2 and then I saw this, just a total different game really.
It's a different game completely, yeah. It needed to be because number 1 was not great. Yeah, that's our final one. Another good pick.
Yeah, there you have it. That's our top 5 on the shoot 'em ups. In no particular order, apart from R-Type. It's always going to be first.
It's always going to be my first one.
Exactly. It was always going to be first. Everything else was in no particular order, just R-Type. But if you've got others that we haven't mentioned that you think deserve a mention, please put it in the comments. Yeah. We'll be more than welcome to read them and look at them.
Other honourable mentions that didn't quite make the list are
Banshee by Core Design, 1994.
P-47 Thunderbolt, published by Firebird, 1990.
Disposable Hero, 1993 by Gremlin.
Battle Squadron, published by Electronic Zoo, 1989.
Swiv, 1991 by Storm.
Kakarodon, White Sharks, developed by Silicon Warriors, 1991.
And there you have it. That's our top 5. Look out for more videos on our top 5 Amiga games.
Good luck.
Don't make me laugh. Yeah.
Right, go on then, have a go. I'll be quiet now.
Serious. Oh, God, hang on. Car rode on White Sharks. Start again.
Sorry, I was laughing over it. Right, I'll turn my mic off.
Mute yourself so I can't hear you.